Hi, my name is Seabelo John at the Johns Hopkins School of Education in the Masters of Arts in Teaching program. This is my development self-reflection presentation. This development self-reflection presentation is about 4 experiences from my earliest memory, elementary, middle school, and high school years that have contributed to who I am today. I will be using the Kolb 1984 experiential learning framework to explain my experiences. I will connect these experiences to aspects of development covered in class. I will also share how these experiences influenced my learning and their impact on my future teaching as an elementary school teacher. My earliest memory was during my first birthday party at home in Kanye, Botswana, with my 2 older brothers, cousin, my aunt, my father, and my mother who took this photo. All I remember was a cake candle flame in front of me and celebratory bodies surrounding me. However, I could only recognize my mother. Although I remember this in flashes, I felt very ecstatic and giggled as my aunt made funny faces in front of me. I felt very safe being held, hugged, or tickled, which made me appreciate having people around me. I could still recognize and pay attention to my mother's voice as she would call people to look at the camera, even though I did not know what she said. From this experience, I can conclude that I felt very safe because I was being surrounded and frequently touched by those who around me who made me giggle, smile, and give baby grasps when hugged. Steps I will be making based on what I learned involve encouraging people around me to ensure that their children receive company and loving hugs that will make them feel safe and develop healthily. This experience relates to research compiled by Anita Woolfolk 2019. During my first birthday, I was in the sensory motor stage, based on Piaget's 1936 theory of cognitive development. In this stage, the brain learns from physical interactions as I develop motor skills, and also object permanence. That even though when my aunt is playing with me, my mom behind her has not disappeared. My cousin, who is also my nanny, always played peekaboo with me, which is my favorite game. To me, this experience means I have developed early as I have been a visual and kinesthetic learner in my early years. In my future teaching, I will make and incorporate activities such as puppet shows for my students that will make sure that they're exposed to different stimuli, such as colors, lights, and different sounds, so that they can develop cognitively and master object permanence, just like I did. When puppets go behind the screen, they haven't disappeared. Students will learn that. Watching Sesame Street also helps. A key experience during my third grade was when my teacher, Mrs. Constance Sibitla, the one on the right, sent me in front of the class to teach my classmates math because I had consistently gotten full marks for all the assignments. I remember it like it was yesterday. I felt proud of myself and I had a feeling of being both powerful and a helpful force to my classmates who cheered me on and learned from my third grade teacher voice. Although it was the first time I did this, my teacher was very supportive throughout, and she used question cues to guide me as I explained steps to calculate an answer to a problem. From this experience, I can conclude that my development as a young leader started from way early in my life. The responsibility of being a teacher to my young peers was bestowed upon me by my teacher, which caused me to mature faster socially and have a desire to take up leadership roles like being the class monitor and a teacher in the future. The action steps I will take based on what I learned that I will give different students a chance to explain to their peers how they reach to a solution to a problem, and then rotate the roles, giving students turns in each unit or class to help build and improve their confidence and understanding. This experience is related to Bronfenbrenner's 1989 ecological systems theory, where the social context and cultural context of his child shape their development. The social context of being a prodigy assigned me leadership responsibilities at a young age. This helped build my confidence. The bioecological model explains this. All development happens in the chronosystem, and this chronosystem includes environmental events and major life transitions, as well as historical events. In terms of my own learning, this experience means that I have developed to be a leader because of the social context in my class that gave me the opportunity to do so. High expectations were set for me, which helped me learn cognitively how to lead. My future teaching will be centered around encouraging students to develop leadership skills and a level of independence when they're young. I will also encourage parents, and as they are members of the chrono system, to support children at a young age in building their confidence. In sixth grade, a math substitute teacher came to my class. He was known to be the best by other schoolmates in the same grade who had had him before. Instead of introducing a new topic, the substitute teacher taught about addition and subtraction of fractions, which is one of the first topics we learned in the school year. I did not enjoy this class at all, although I got 100% in his assessment. This event made me feel very let down and bored. That day, I was a little angry that my time was wasted. I am a fast learner and I do not easily tolerate very slow teachers. However, I respectfully understand that some teachers simply cannot cater for all student preferences. So I learned to be patient. I learned how to do my own studying and read ahead and do independent research from what the teachers provide. The conclusion I draw from this experience is that monotony and redundancy are simply boring. Educators must find new ways to stimulate student interests. Steps I will take based on what I've learned is that because students get bored easily, I will have to exercise different teaching methods and strategies to make it more fun. Vygotsky's 1978 development theory of the zone of proximal development relates to this. Learning impacts development. In order to learn better, we have to be presented with a task that is just out of reach of our present abilities. We just need somebody who knows better than we do, like a teacher, to facilitate and support that learning. In terms of my own learning, I do get bored easily and sleepy when the teacher goes on a rant about something that I already know. It's simply boring. I get excited when I learn new things and when the teacher is there to help me understand through exercises instead of just lecturing monotonously. In my future teaching, I will be very spontaneous and bring new content to the classroom after asking my students what they know already about a specific subject. For example, what do you know about Martin Luther King and Nelson Mandela? Did you know they fought for the same cause at the same time on two continents, but they actually never met? So during this period, I developed to understand what makes me bored and what doesn't, and what to do when I get bored. A key experience in my 12th grade was in an English elective class at the Hopkins School in Lakeville, Connecticut, when we discussed about who we are and where we are from. I shared that I am from Kanye, Botswana. My mom is from the Bagwangetse tribe, and my dad is from the Kalanga tribe, so I am mixed. This was shocking to my American classmates who know all Africans are labeled as black. When I went back to Botswana for break, my friends there called me American because of my US education and my hobbies. I told them I am Botswana, yes, but I am multicultural because of my experiences. I basically switched between different identity roles depending on who I was with. A similar experience happened when we went to Tennessee for college, where my classmates called me a New Englander. However, I still insisted I'm a global citizen, which prompted informative conversations about all the countries I've been to: Botswana, South Africa, USA, Scotland, England, Italy, Greece, Togo, Ethiopia, and Zimbabwe. This event made me feel confused at first when I had to explain myself to my friends and peers that they would not easily understand me or they'll think of me in a wrong way. I could not fit in one box because of all my multicultural experiences. In conclusion, this experience, it was this experience was at a stage where a teenager must reach and achieve identity in occupation, gender, and roles in the society. This experience relates to Erik Erikson's 1963 theory of the 8 stages of psychosocial and identity development. The steps I will take based on what I've learned is to reflect on the different social groups that influenced my upbringing and who I am right now. My self-esteem and self-concept were based on my social and cultural experiences. Erik Erikson's 1963 theory will state that I was at stage 5, adolescence, where psychosocial issues presented were between identity versus role confusion. The relationship focus here is peer relations, and therefore, how I interact in this space helps me learn and understand who I am, how I fit into this world. In terms of my own learning, this experience means that I learned about and understand myself better when I try these different identity roles. I discover who I am because of all these countries I've been to. In class, I will allow my students to express themselves, express their different views, and play different roles in class. For example, comparing themselves with characters in the books will do. Discussing about their future careers will do. And then I'll do group projects with them where everybody has a role that changes per assignment. To conclude, because of all these 4 experiences, I learned that I'm a fast, kinesthetic, and visual learner. I'm a youth leader, a curious student, and a global citizen. I love who I am, and I thank everyone around me who played an impactful role in my development. A Setswana saying goes, "Motho ke motho ka batho," which means a person is who they are because of the people around them. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from my presentation. I encourage educators like you to do a self-development reflection too. How is your development similar to mine? How is it different to mine? Reflecting on these experiences helps you become more aware of yourself and better help your students.